I know that seeing someone you love go through hard times, it's really painful because all you want is for them to be happy, and many times not being able to fix these situations for them might make you feel a little bit useless. So remember that not all situations are yours to fix, even if you want to. But there are still things you can do or say to help your loved ones overcome those situations. Hi, I'm Paula, the girl that sits here every Tuesday to just talk about things that happen to all of us but that we don't really talk about enough. And today I wanted to share with you some of the most helpful things you can say to someone who is struggling, and also at the end of the video I'm going to share with you one of the most important but not really talked about ways of helping someone that's struggling. And trust me, this is going to be useful for anybody. It doesn't really matter what they're going through or what their situation or problem is about. This is gonna help them so much. First of all, remember that every person, every situation, and how they like to face them are different. So before you do anything, ask them how they would like you to help them, and if possible, do it. But in case they say they don't really know how you can help, or that there's nothing you can do, feel free to use any of the following ideas to make sure that that person knows that they're not alone and that you are there supporting them. The first and one of the most important things to help someone is to show them that you care, that you are not going to leave just because they are going through a bad time. So showing your presence and your support for them is really important, and it doesn't necessarily have to be physically if that's not what's comfortable or easy for the both of you. Honestly, love and presence and support can be shown in so many different ways. So in case you don't want to just do it in person, you can always text them or cook something for them, or I don't know, maybe take them out for them to clear their heads. Or there are different acts of service and kindness you can do for those people that will show them that you care for them and you are there for them, and that you will help them just go through whatever they're going through, and that you are not going to leave just because they're going through something bad. If you do want to show your support verbally, as in speaking to this person or through text, always remember to ask them before if what they want from you is to just sit down and listen to their vent and just be there in support, or if they want you to give any type of advice or opinion. Be really mindful of this, because it really is horrible to just want to be listened to and then having another person just come and give unsolicited advice or just throw their opinion at you when that's not what you're looking for. And a quick reminder, don't start talking about yourself and your life and your problems just right after the other person finished talking about theirs. Remember that this conversation is not about you. So really avoid trying to just start talking about yourself and how you've solved your other problems unless you think it's helpful for the conversation, and you can always find a way to just lead the conversation back to them and how you can just help them and make them feel better. Now, another thing you can say to them is to just be honest and tell them that you don't really know how to help them, but despite that, you are not going anywhere. And that is so important, because most of the times we don't even expect someone else to solve our problems. We just need some type of support and just not feeling alone in this. So don't feel ashamed to just accept that you don't really know what to do, because the other person probably doesn't know what they want you to do either. Just make sure you tell them that you are there for them. That truly means the world. The world genuinely becomes way less heavy when there are people carrying it with you. So don't be scared to show them that you're there for them and that you're not going anywhere. The third thing you can do is to try and keep them grounded and remind them that they are not supposed to be perfect, because nobody is. Most of the times when we feel bad or we're going through rough situations, we tend to think about the worst possible case scenarios, and we feel very useless because we don't know how to solve things, and life just feels incredibly messy and catastrophic. So it's really good to always be there for the people you love and remind them that they are not supposed to have their life figured out, and they don't have to pretend that they do, because actually nobody does. And that it's okay if life feels messy for a little bit. They will get through it. Remind them that so far they've overcome all of the days they thought were the worst days of their lives, and this time will not be the exception. The fourth thing you can say, and this only applies if you are actually willing to actively help that person figure things out or find a solution for their problem, which, by the way, it's okay if you don't. You don't really have to get involved in order to help someone. Just your support is more than enough. So it's not your obligation to actively get involved into the solution of the problem. It's just if you want to do it. Is to tell them that you are going to find a solution for that with them, and that you are also actively trying to look for that solution, because it's genuinely so soothing for your soul when you have a problem and you know that there's also someone else helping you figure it out. It's kind of like solving a math problem. If you do it by yourself, you're just gonna feel so frustrated because you don't know how to do it. But once a friend offers their help to kind of like just figure that out together, you just feel so much better because you feel like you're not alone and now you're receiving help. It's the same situation when someone offers you their help to solve any type of problem. So if you're willing to help that person solve their problems or deal with whatever they're going through, don't hesitate in telling them and actually helping them, because trust me, it's going to be incredibly soothing for them and it's going to help them so much. And now the fifth thing, it's not quite something you can say, but something you can do that you have no idea how much it's going to help a person. As I said in the beginning of the video, it really doesn't matter what the other person is going through. This is something you can always do and would always help. And it's not even related to helping them find a solution. So what you can help them with is to help them maintain their functionality. And what I mean by this is helping them do those tasks that in a normal basis are considered normal and expected from a person to be someone functional in their daily lives, but that usually when someone is going through something bad, these type of tasks tend to be really forgotten. So for example, you can offer to clean their house, or walk their pets, or water their plants, or make a meal for them to make sure that they are eating properly, or even take them to the salon to get their hair washed and done, and maybe also like help them do their nails, or I don't know, there are really so many acts of service that you can do that will genuinely help so much. This is so important and makes such a great impact when someone is struggling, because the less we take care of ourselves, the less put together we are going to feel, and the more likely our surroundings are going to start adding to that loop of chaos that we are going through. So by doing different acts of service, you are really helping that person, because you are helping them maintain their functionality and you are helping them cope with different tasks that might feel incredibly heavy when they are going through something bad. So if you want to help a loved one and you don't know how to, don't hesitate in doing different acts of service, because it really is going to mean the world for them and you are helping them in ways you can't even imagine. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Remember that you are not alone. I send you a massive hug and see you next week.